Hello and welcome to another video from Game Club Tabletop. It's Duncan here again today to talk you through the two-player starter set for Warlord Games' new Konflikt 47. This is a second edition, if you like, of Konflikt 47. This is not going to be an unboxing. This box is empty, but I'm just going to take you through the contents. I have already started. I can wait. The models are so nice that I've just dragged them out and started to make them and paint them as quickly as I could because I really want to play the game. It sounds really exciting. I've watched some interesting battle reports and want to get going. So I'll quickly show you the contents. So that's what you're going to get in the box, and I'll talk you through those contents now. First, we'll do some paper. So you get an A5 rulebook. Oops, sorry for the fingers. An A5 rulebook. Pretty typical of Warlord in the start sets. Give you the A5. It's got everything you need to play the game, the rules. Normally at the back you'd have army lists in bolt action, but in this you don't. So what they're doing this time is army lists will be available online for you to download. This gives them the freedom to change up units, to add new units, to change the points, to make adjustments, and then just reissue them free. So you're not paying for those. There will be some paid supplements that will add more depth and stuff like coming out later from what they're saying, and to move the story forward and introduce new things. So like I said, I think that's part of it. I think they want to bring out new units that may be using the tech in different ways. And to do that, if they constantly had to keep giving you army lists, it would become very expensive like other games can be. And I think they're just trying to keep it a bit cheaper. So you buy your stuff, rules stay the same, but your unit lists, your unit builders will change. You also get one of these for each of the different troops. So we've got the Firefly Squad, how to build, how to use the different arms, which arms go together. It's all very nice. But you will obviously need to use these in conjunction with those free army lists, PDFs, just to pick what weapons you're going to use. The Vogelspinner was quite a tough one to build. Initially, I thought it would be the legs that were a pain. They weren't. Obviously, find something about the right height. You can balance the body on it, and then like a cork or something. And then you can put the legs on quite easily. But building this initial carcass, this piece here, there's 2 bits at the front, 3, 4 on the side, 1 on the bottom, 6, and then a piece on the back, 7. So when you're trying to squish the seams together so that it's a nice finish, that can be a little bit difficult. And then that's one of the other units you get in the box. Stahltruppen, which is a new unit. Well, all these are new essentially. Heavy infantry. They can have some serious weaponry put on them, including a light anti-tank gun, heavy machine guns and so on. And again, showing you where you can put stuff, how you can use that arm, and if you're having this, what goes on where. You can also put on like Panzerfaust and grenade launchers and stuff to them as well. And then finally, the big boy, linebacker jump walker. And again, all the sprues, what's where, and how to build. This went together really well. Again, I often worry about legs when you're having to pose them and stuff, but this is really good. And again, showing you how to build and the different weapon options. Again, when you're building these, they all have different loadouts, different points. So you'll want the unit builder with you, the list builder, so you can see what the different guns do. Right, as usual with Warlord, you're going to get a frame. Now, this is for all your high explosive weapons and things like that. So you've got the 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch and 4 inch. And then all the different tokens to show you, if you've lost a track, if you're on fire, etc., etc. Okay, you will also get, although I've taken them apart and already integrated them in my own thing, you'll get a sprue of these, which is 10 or 12, I can't remember which. 10 or 12 are the pin markers, which show if you're under pressure in the game. So if you've been shot at and you get hit, you take pins, so that makes it harder for you to get your troops to do what you want. Now, so I should show you some of the models next, really. So the Stahltruppen, you're going to get 6. And again, looking at the list, the army list for the Axis, which is what they are now. They to form what they call an assault platoon, which plays if you know bolt action, plays the same role as a rifle platoon, as your basic platoon, which will then unlock different platoons. You have to have 2 of the advanced or specialist units. So these come in as a standard in 3, but you can go up to 6-man units. So I've set these up to be 2 units of 3. So I'll never find him. That's one NCO, and he's got two machine gunners with him. And then you've got the other NCO. He's got a light anti-tank and the machine gun with him. And he's got both the NCOs have the standard sort of style truppen weapon, which is that one. They have helped me to upgrade them as well, but at the end of the day, I wanted a bit of the feel of the new stuff in there. As you can see, just for the sheer comedy, well, not comedy value, but the punch. If you pay for it, you have to all have them anyway. The Panzerfaust, so yeah, they've all got a Panzerfaust. So that's the style truppen, and their leader is here, and he's also in style truppen armor. He's a resin figure in the box, but actually for resin, I'm normally not a big fan of them going together. I have to get green stuff out, but I didn't use any green stuff on this guy. Oops. Sorry about that. He just went together really well. He's just a great looking figure. I can't wait to paint that cloak. I'll really lift him out. I'm going to go for quite a bright colour. And again, I haven't decided what colour really I'm going to do all these tanks on them yet, but we'll see. I feel like I need to lighten them after all that metallics. So he was a really nice figure to go together. And I had a spare grenade launcher thing that he's got on his shoulder. Right, so on the other side of and they also come with, sorry, I'll do all the Axis stuff first, let me move that away. And then you get the Vogelspinner, which is an updated version of the Spinner from before, Spinner Mech, which has 6 legs, not 4. It's all this stuff's in plastic, apart from the heroes, which are resin. There are different options for this guy, and you can see different bits here for armor plating and stuff, because some of the different guns take a totally different turret. So again, he's got different loadouts. I've gone for the Rift Tech gun on this, but again, you don't have to. So I've gone for the sort of you can just use an auto cannon and a light anti-tank on it for a bit more penetration. But I wanted the kind of cool, new Rift weapon. Let's look at what's new. I can always bring an armored car if I just want more penetration on things. Next up, then we've got the hero for the Americans. Again, it's a Rosen figure. He wasn't in too many parts, so you can stick on a leg and a hat and the arm, maybe. That was about it. But again, he went together really well for resin. Again, I'm not a huge fan. And then you get, again, you can either build them as a unit of 12 or 2 units of 6, which is how I've kind of worked out their weapons loadouts and stuff. To do them as 2 units of 6, but that if I need to in the future, I can use them as 12 if I want. Now, with all of these minis, actually, you end up with a lot of stuff left. So, not necessarily all on this sprue, but there's a lot of head options I haven't used. I've gone for all masked ones. There's enough to do. Oh, come on, focus. Anyway, the top row there, sorry about that, isn't got masks, but you've got enough to do masks. You've got a few with the leather hood, 3 without anything. But the only problem is, legs-wise, you get more legs than you can use. So it gives you choices, so you can make them more varied, but you're only going to get 3 torsos. So you can only use 3 legs without torsos. Is that right? Or is it 4 torsos? No, 3 legs without torsos, and then there's a man standing with a built-in torso, and then there's 2 kneeling with built-in torsos. So to make the 6, you can only use 3 of the legs like this. And 3 of them are going to be on these rocks. So again, my worry with the rocks are, if they're all on them, or a lot on each of every unit you've got is on exactly the same shaped rock, it might look a bit weird. So it's a shame that there's not more torsos. And with the Stahl Truppen, if I can find them. But again, lots of options for guns on there. You can load them out exactly as you want. I don't think I brought it. Oh, yeah, here's one. Oh no, this is the spare guns from the linebacker. So again, you can see there the machine guns or the super bazooka, which I nearly went for, but at the time when I did it, I couldn't see the rules for how the Super Bazooka works, so I didn't use it. But no, I can't. I don't think I did. Sorry, I thought I brought the Star Trooper one over, but I saw somebody printed off torsos because there's enough heads, legs, and arms to build loads more troops. But I think another 3 probably on each sprue because of the choice of legs. But no more torsos, so someone was 3D printing torsos, so they could use up those bits. So again, if you've got a 3D printer, you could probably double up how much Star Trooper can come out of this box, purely because of how many sprues. And then, last but not least, you're going to get 4 sprues of the ruins, which is quite a lot when you're going to build it up. Obviously, it'll all fit together, so you can make bigger stuff, you can make smaller bits, some scatter if you want, and there's 4 of those. So that's the plastic, and that's the resin, and all of that. Oh, I haven't shown you the linebacker, have I? So backing up those Fireflies, so these are jump troops as well, I should say. They've got Firefly technology. So that's me just trying to paint to see if I like them or not. So they can fly. So it gives them a lot of movement for an infantry unit. And then here we've got a linebacker. This is a lovely kit. It's going to, well, hopefully I'll do it reasonable justice. And again, it can jump. So it's got some pretty impressive movement. It can fly from nowhere. And I've gone with the loadout of the Tesla cannon and the twin auto cannons and the chin-mounted medium or light machine guns. I can't remember what they are. You can swap this out for a flamethrower, and this can be the machine guns or Super Bazooka instead of the auto cannon. It's not quite finished yet. This isn't stuck on because it comes with a glass canopy. So I'm just going to do all the painting and then pop the glass in and stick that down. But at least you can see the dude inside. Just needs a bit of finishing off. I need to get some more of that green paint on. Probably hit this with a matte varnish at the end as well, just to give it a bit of protection. But yeah, big model, nice big model. Like I say, it's nice to get something like this in a start set. So different. You also get a dice bag. And we'll come on to the dice in a moment. Well, we'll do it now. Oh no, you also get some American and some German decals to stick onto your minis. You can choose to put these little shoulder pads on. You could then paint up how you like to, separate out maybe which unit's which. Also on the board. And then you get a bag of dice, finally. Now, again, anyone familiar with bolt action should know some of these dice. One of the things I really like about bolt action is the order system and how it works in the game. So, come on, Dom. Get a grip. So you get a little handful of D6. There may be some more that I've just misplaced. Well, there is 10 there, so that probably makes sense. So you get some little D6 if you haven't got any. And then you're going to get 4 what they call order dice for the Germans. 4 order dice for the Allies. Well, that's for the Axis, sorry, I should keep calling them the Germans. Now, no longer just Germany, so you can do a mixed army of Germans and Italians. The Japanese are separate, Russia are a separate faction, Britain are a separate faction, and America are a separate faction. So all the Italian models and the German models can just be mixed up into that one army. So that's quite interesting. Lets you have a real variety of infantry and things like that. So 4 of these, and essentially for each unit you've got, so yeah, we've got a leader who'll take a dice, the linebacker, and then 2 units of Fireflies, leader, Virgelspinner, 2 units of Stahltrooper. And you put those in the bag, shake them up, and then you pull one out. Whatever comes out first, that's the American one. Pick one of the orders that's shown, so you can either do a double move, go down to if you're going to get shot, rally if you've got lots of pins on you, which with the red markers we showed you earlier, make an advance, which means you can move forward and shoot, What am I done? Fire. Stand still and shoot, which makes shooting more effective. I think that's it. Oh, an ambush. So if you're in a good position and you know people are going to have to come and get you, say you're on an objective, you can set yourself to ambush, and if anything moves, you can shoot them, or you can charge them and get them into combat if they come really close. So if they come within 6 inches, you can just like rush out and attack them. So that's kind of cool. And then like you'd use that one, you draw again. Oh, it's American again, and then you draw again, and one by one until there's none left in the bag, and that signifies the end of the round. Now, that's bolt action, but this isn't bolt action. This is Konflikt 47, and so we've got some extra dice this time, which are called rift dice. So again, we've got two different colours in here. So you probably use the green for the Allies just to match their greens for the US, and then the blacks for the Axis. At the start of the game, you're going to roll however many you get as part of your thing. So the different units will get different numbers of rift dice. The more powerful the unit is, the more rift dice it will have. And then you roll that number. Whoa, so that's a pretty good roll actually. And then we assign these if they've got a charge. So this is one charge. This would be a blank. So if they've got a charge, you say, right, those Firefly get a dice. They're going to get one. But I'm going to give the linebacker the supercharged one. Okay. Whoop. And the hero dude, wherever he's gone, he's one over. That's the one thing I would say with some of the ones that are stood on the rocks. They're very tall, they're not very heavy. I'm hoping once I add the basing paste on to finish them, that there'll be a bit more weight there and they won't tip over as much. Essentially, so if he wants to use his, you turn to a blank, then it's done. When it's blank now, he's exhausted. At the end of the round, exhausted dice, I think you can roll them, and if they come out exhausted again, they go in the bag. And then they get drawn out, so if you draw out that, you get to roll it. Oh, and it's exhausted. So he's exhausted, kind of vibe. But yeah, they're resources, so if you use one, you spend it. Same with this, if you use one, you go down to that. And then if you use that, you'd be exhausted. But if you've got the surging one, like this, you could then overload this Tesla cannon, do something super, but maybe do something that hurts you as well. And then you'd flip it straight to that because you've used two to deal with an overload. For the basic stuff, their basic commands and things, it's just the one. Okay, so they're resources that you can use. Yeah, I don't know if there's enough in here. So maybe I have to use normal dice. And if we look at this, it's essentially three. There's three sides, two normals, 1, 2, and a surge. So you could just play with any dice at the same colour and say 4, 5, or 6 is so 4 or 5. No, 2 3s, that's handy, isn't it? Come on. Right. You just roll 3s these days. Right, so this one would be an exhausted, and this one would be an overcharged one. So there you go. So you could use normal dice as well if you haven't got the rift dice. I assume new units, as you buy units, they'll probably come with the rift dice. So final thoughts on this. I haven't played the game yet, so I can't really talk to you about the game. I have watched battle reports. It looks really fun. But I think as a set, it's a pretty good set. There's plenty in it. It might not look like there is, but these are, once you start adding in the rift tech into units, they become very expensive. And the Stahltruppen here, they have a damage value of 7, which would normally have only been on vehicles and things in the past in bolt action. So actually, you know, a basic machine gun shot, probably you'd need a 6 followed by a 6 to start damaging them. So you're going to have to fight fire with fire and take special weapons. So, for example, most of the Fireflies are going to have this new version of the Thompson, X1, I think it's X1, X2, and essentially it's it's got 2 barrels. One fires the normal super bullets, and the other one fires the E-slug, which is almost like an electronic shotgun shell, which gives you a bit more penetration, but you get less shots. 2 shots with it normally, or 1 shot if you use that E-slug. But again, giving you some penetration, hence why it's going to be important to keep him safe, especially when there's bigger mechs out there. So that he's got some nice penetrating ability with his guns. Try and fight back against these, because they're going to be quite hard to shift off objectives once you're getting into it, especially through hard cover. So, yeah, I think it's a really good set. It's not cheap. Starter sets have gone up a lot. Like I say, you probably will feel like maybe you don't get quite so much, but I think there's probably a lot more. I don't know how much terrain's in the normal one. But yeah, if you're looking for a way to quickly get from bolt action to Conflict 47, this is probably a really good way of doing it, especially if you've got German and US troops already. I'll be able to send these out. An assault platoon can have 2 of these, can have 2 normals. You can send a walker in on either of these as its own platoon. Doesn't need platoon command. So I think they made an exception for that, compared to bolt action, where if you want an armoured platoon, there has to be at least 2 vehicles, one with command, one without. You can add stuff to the walker platoon, but it's got to be able to keep up with it. So you can just have a single walker. You could have 2 walkers, or you could add troops to it, but they'd have to be able to keep track of it. So if you wanted to use normal troops with it, stick them in a truck or a half track or something, so they can keep up, and that's not a problem. Same with the Spinner, that you'd be able to have that as a separate unit, in a separate platoon. An assault platoon just needs 2 of these. That's why I've split them as they are. So with the commander, which is your hero, you can then make an assault platoon by just having 6 of each. I don't know where the other guys are. 6 of each. 2 units of 6 on the. There we go. This one. They're good at hiding, apparently. It's alright. So yeah, sorry about that. Right, there he is. 2 units of 6 on the Fireflies, and the 2 units of 3 on the Stahltruppen. Well, like I say, you can pad that out. You can still, machine guns still really good, especially for the Germans. You still get buzzsaw type effect. So yeah, sorry, rambling now. Good set. Looking forward to play the game. I'll come back and talk more when I've got these finished. Maybe look at next steps and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely worth looking into. And there are some really good battle reports out already. There was some done on tabletop, I know for certain. So yeah, and Muddy and Glory has done quite a lot of stuff on this, including deep dives into some of the backstory and stuff. So yeah, if you're interested, definitely worth checking out. And I will see you on the next report. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.